Hey, what's happening, everybody? I am Pruitt. This is Everyday People doing everyday shit. Hope y'all doing well. I am unbelievable as always, hanging out here with the one and only Biscuit. Apparently, he wanted to be on the show tonight too, so there. He's getting his time.
He done now.
And now he's done run off.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it took.
He's done for the day.
We said his name. That's all he needed to hear.
So not right. Anyway, she's Phoebe Pruitt. I am Aunt Pruitt. Thank y'all for being here live on the YouTube live stream. Started a few minutes late because I was trying out a different microphone. As you may see on the screen here, there's this little lavalier mic that I just dropped. She's got one on her right now. I tried it out earlier today, and it sounded better than expected. I don't expect them to sound as good as a studio mic, because it's not a studio mic. And I figured that it has all of the wonderful technical capabilities. The folks at Ceramon sent it over, tried it out. Because it's 32-bit float, I could play with it. And when I played around with it in post, it sounded pretty good. So we'll see how she sounds when I do the editing tonight. You shouldn't hear much of a difference right now if you're listening live. But anyway, that is out the way. I want to give a shout out to all of our fine folks at Patreon before we get started. Thank you to everyone that is a member of the Patreon community. You go to patreon.com/Aunt Pruitt. And as a matter of fact, I would like to do this right here to give these direct names their due and their credit and thank yous. These are the paid members because we offer both free and paid Patreon membership. So shout out to Matt, Bianca, don't know how to say your last name, I'm sorry, Ed Ingber, Kelvin, Alvin Brock, Joe Esposito, Catherine Killebrew, Sean Powers, Mike Claypool, Dr. Drew, Tanya Wyman, Finn, Michelle Thomas, Rich Breslin, Joe Catskill, Jeff Maricini, DHP, Matt Wilgo, Pujan Wong, Daily Tech News Show, Logan, John Helm, my homie, Jason Heiner, LWHS, Richard Hakala, Leo Laporte, James Mitchell, Malika Brown, Tech Dino, and Lee Janine. Thank you all so very much. We do appreciate all of the support. Real freaking talk. Yeah. I'm going to turn my ears down just a touch. I don't think you're loud. I just think my ears are loud. That is a bit of an inside joke, but we're going to get into that momentarily, actually. That is part of my discussions for this week's show. But again, first, I want to go ahead and get some dark stuff out of the way. Well, I just mentioned our Patreon community and how much I appreciate the Patreon community. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm really appreciating the Patreon community because as of earlier this morning, I was let go from the job that I had. And it was a bit of a shock. It was a bit of a surprise. It hurt my dadgum feelings. It was probationary period and they had every right to do so within their probationary statute, if you will. And I get it. Just didn't work out, so I'm back to the job boards and I'm glad I didn't cancel my casting stuff because I almost did, but I kept it open and the emails are still coming to me. But I got it filtered to where I don't see them right now. So I'm glad I still got that there because I can at least still look at some more casting stuff. Because was it last weekend or weekend before last? Yes, weekend before last. I had an audition for something in San Francisco, but I couldn't go. Do you remember that? I was sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
So I didn't close it, and I'm glad I didn't close it because I guess people are still looking for oldish looking black dudes with no hair and scratch glasses for stuff. Maybe. I don't know. But
In the distance, the far distance, where you have a blink. If you blink, you're absolutely not there. A, but you got paid. I didn't even know what you were trying to tell me to look at. Like, what are you in this show? Is that why the fuck you watching it? Because I didn't know. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Oh, okay. Well, then I will pay more attention now.
You were over there on the chair with your earbuds on, focused on whatever you were focusing on, because I think you were painting at the time too. So you get in the zone, and I respect that. You doing your craft.
No, you don't respect it because you constantly like, what? You don't hear what I got going on? No, I didn't know that you were telling me to watch you in this show. I thought you were just watching this random show on whatever Netflix. Was it Netflix?
It was Netflix.
I didn't know that you were like,
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second because if you are just sort of not paying attention and when I'm talking to you, I'll give you grief about that. But I think that particular moment you were painting, so I'm not going to give you grief about it because when you're painting, I get it. You focus. That's the artist in you, as you say. But I was in, it was originally named A Classic Spy, and then they changed it during shooting to like The Inside Spy or something like that, and now it's got a whole other name on Netflix, and it's Man Inside, or I don't even know the name of it. I just know Ted Danson is the lead, and I'm background in it. And unlike the other stuff that I've done background for, you actually see me in this one. I'm not necessarily like a speck on the screen or anything like that. This one was, you can
I'm glad you knew where you were.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't, I don't know. But
and that's the beauty
the good part is that you knew where you were in the show, and that's cool, so that we could see it. And I absolutely see you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why it's called background.
That's pretty cool.
It's not supposed to be drawing too much attention. And it's funny watching more stuff now and how I notice background people. Mm-hmm. And you
will. I do too.
And then because there was one thing that I was on for background, and they sent somebody home because they kept looking into the camera, even though they were, it was the Apple thing. Yeah, it was the Apple thing. So even though, because you saw how that Apple thing turned out to where I was about the size of a pinhead on the screen, that person wasn't very far away from me, and they kept yelling at him to stop looking into the camera. And he kept looking into the camera. They sent his ass home. They're like, no, your background. This ain't about you. Get up out of here. Man on the Inside says, Cinder Fractal in the chat. Or is that?
Thank you.
Oh, no, it's John Helm that says it in the chat.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. That's the name of the show. I can't remember it. I just know I scrolled through Netflix and saw the Ted Danson face, and it's in there. And I started watching it, and it's not bad. It got a little sad these last 2 episodes, and I personally didn't need that at this particular time, but it's not bad. I'll probably finish it up this weekend or whatever. But anyway, I don't even know how we got on background. Oh, because I said I still got the role. Some people that were looking at me for some roles or what have you. So anyway, so yeah, that's that. I will continue to search the job boards and do whatever stuff I can do with ZDNet. ZDNet has been acquired by Ziff Davis again, because I think Ziff Davis originally owned them 10 years ago. I just signed my new paperwork with them a week or 2 ago to make that more official now that it's new leadership, new ownership and whatnot. There's been some changes, but far as I'm concerned, there's not a lot of changes fortunately. So I'll still continue to write things and check out different products and whatnot. I picked up a delivery today. I got this mic on me right now. I already wrote about the mic, but I could probably share some more about it at a later time, like in an in-depth review or whatever, and get paid for that. So that's where we are now. And like I said, it sucks. When it happened, I was in the middle of actually studying at the time because I'm trying to get this stuff down, but it's, I get it. Business is business and you do what you got to do. But I need to figure out a way to get the visions that I saw out of my head and the words that I heard out of my head. And, so I'll flush it out at some point, but it stings because I believe that's the first time I've ever been fired. I've been laid off, but I think that's the first time I've ever been fired. Does that sound right to you? You would know because I've only had a handful of jobs and you've been around for all for all of them.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, and they were just looking at everything. They looked at everything and they found every moment that you were slipping and they pocketed it.
And that's fair. I got no beef with that. I told him straight up, hey, that's fair. So, all right. Well, that's that. So, again, thank you all for, oh, yeah. And in the chat, John asks, do they document? Yeah, I got all that stuff. I got all that stuff. And it's totally fair. I got no beef with it. It's totally fair. So, with that said, thank you, Patreon. And thank you for everybody watching live on YouTube, hitting subscribe on the screen right now, hitting thumbs up and like and all of that good stuff. And now back to you, Phoebe. What you got going on, dear? I did that on purpose because our homie Finn said that I shouldn't do you like that. Because he's a creative mind and he is a production guy.
You should not put me on the spot.
Yeah, he said I shouldn't do you like that.
Since he said that, that's why you're doing it.
I did it anyway just for the kicks and giggles kind of things. But
of course, I have to be the one to suffer with you and Finn.
It's okay. But no, what you got going on? Anything today? You just been chilling out? I tried not to interrupt you when I came home early from work because I know today's your day out. So I tried not to interrupt you and have another one of those incidents again.
Well, yeah, no. When I saw you come through the door, I already knew, there's no other reason because it was super early.
Yeah.
And I went on with my day, continued to watch TV and.
Why you home? Yep.
That, I wish that I had that question, but for whatever reason, I already knew. Mm-hmm. It's like when he came home and it was early in the morning, not like even at lunchtime or anything like that. Yeah. This ain't my first rodeo in this field. Yeah.
You had a bit of some, I guess you can say some thoughts or premonitions, if you will, because of there was an incident that happened last Thursday or last Friday.
It was right before we left because when the bird shitted on your hand and your right hand, I came home and I remember coming in and you were like, the bird, it aimed. It was like right there on my hand. And I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Not. But then you were like, that means I'm about to get paid. And you did the whole the clap, the who clap, the clap, woo-ha clap, and I wasn't feeling that way, but in support of you feeling that way, I'm like, okay.
Well, I did get paid my final check.
I don't know. I didn't look at it the way you had looked at it initially. Like I felt like my gut was telling me so many things over this last weekend, even down to I didn't know what it was gonna be. I thought I was just having the blues about literally being empty nesters, and that's a good thing because we raised men. We raised boys. It's
still a work in progress.
It is, but you know, I can say that I'm proud of my firstborn. Mm-hmm. He's out on his own. He's been out on his own for a minute now. Yeah, you know. He's 100% disabled from the military for I don't know why. I didn't ask, but he did get through all of that. I cannot sit here and tell you that I would get through any type of basic training, any kind of training where I got to run at all.
I remember the basic training celebration, and I was very proud because it's not an easy feat. Yeah. Especially for someone lacking discipline. You know, it's not easy for people that don't quite understand, you know, the idea of someone, number one, telling you what to do. Yeah. And
you got to do it with no question. Yeah. Somebody telling you what to do, yelling at you, screaming at you, calling you a pussy ass, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
There's that. And then there's just the aspect of, you know, discipline isn't necessarily like we tell our children to do something and they do it. They're disciplined enough to do it. There's discipline in knowing when you need to eat and knowing what you shouldn't eat. You know, that's discipline. Yeah. You know, so that's what I'm saying. A long way. All right. So what I'm saying is with the military thing, they have the I'm going to beat your ass discipline, but there's other disciplines that they try to instill as well, and they instill it with fury. You don't have any choice in the matter. Yeah. You know, it is. No, you can't wear that shirt today. You're wearing this shirt today. You know, no, you can't wear your hair like that today. You're wearing your hair like this. You know, it's a certain level of discipline that not everybody can deal with, you know. And so, I was very proud of that. I still remember that day down there in Kakalaki.
Very proud, but I was just speaking with him, you know, taking baby steps to get my relationship back on track with my firstborn. That I'm an empty nester, like for real. And it made me sad. It was so many mixed emotions after going to the football game and having brunch with Jacob and listening to him say what his future plans are, listening to what number two, the other one, saying what his plans are, being engaged and finishing up college and what have you. And then having these little conversations with my number one, it's like, okay, you are an empty nester. What are you going to do about it? It's like, you got to do something, Phoebe. You got to do something with yourself because it's time for you to look after yourself. We don't. Yeah. I know I look back on the days of talking about being an empty nester, but
a great message of simplicity right there from Cinder Fractor in the chat. Oh, you don't have your glasses on.
I can see it.
Oh, okay.
I am.
She says breathe. Great message. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
I got to tell you, remember when I was able to see him for my first time dress out? Because he had already dressed out previously, but I wasn't able to go. and that I went that other time, and I was like, I want to go. I want to see it and, you know, share the experience with them. And remember on the way home what I said when I talked to you on the phone?
No.
Well, I said that I'm an emotional wreck. I don't know what's going to happen to you when you see it.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, because it was hard on me.
But I just figured it was hard on you because you wanted to be a football player like that. Not because you were, you know, you living vicariously through your kids or that kind of thing. Not that you're an emotional wreck because you knew that we were empty nesters and it was just me and you, and the thoughts of that is a whole nother thing in my head. Like, oh my God. Sorry.
All right. So no, it was not about the, it wasn't really an empty nest thought, and it definitely wasn't a living vicariously through them thought. It was more of just the journey. You know, it's just a journey. I promise you, I don't do the live vicariously through thing because they have a choice in all of the matter, and I've tried to make that clear to them from day one. You know, I say, yeah, I would like for you to blah 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 blah, but you have a choice. But for me, it was just the aspect of the journey. You know, I remember with our first boy, I remember sitting in that Jeffers gym watching really, really crappy basketball. You know, and then I remember with our second boy sitting in, and I can't remember the name of that field, sitting on that soccer field and watching him run and kick the ball and stop and just land on his butt for some reason instead of just kicking and continuing to run, you know. And then I remember with our third boy, them handing him the football, telling him to run up the middle. And he's like, no, I can just go around the outside and score. And, you know, just all of those are like the very, very beginnings of stuff athletically that I remember, you know. And then I also remember the other aspects of just being dad and at least attempting to. And sometimes messages not coming across, you know, and then other times the message does come across a little bit later on, you know. So it's just, yeah, it was for me, it was just the journey and seeing that culmination, you know, with, I remember watching our second boy, finally being able to see him run track. I had to watch it on the internet, but seeing him, and I remember that emotion. I still had the video. That's because I recorded my screen, and don't tell the FCC, but I recorded my screen, and I still remember that feeling of him running around that track and just the emotions there because of the journey. You know what I'm saying? And then being able to talk to Jacob that other week and hug him on the field, and somebody took a picture of us that I didn't know, and just, you haven't seen that picture, I don't think, because I haven't shared it publicly. I don't think you've seen that picture, but it's, you know, it's a picture of us hugging down there in the end zone, you know, and I remember seeing that picture and I was like, damn, I'm not crying, you're crying, you know, because it's the journey.
You did send one picture of us hugging. I mean, of y'all hugging. Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't remember because I didn't share it publicly. I know that. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, it's after that game, driving back them 9 hours, I knew I was an emotional wreck, and all I could think about was, man, what is his mom going to think? You know, what is she going to feel? And I was a little worried about that.
It's not good. I don't like it, but
I was worried about it prior to the trip, but I didn't want to bring it up. I just said I'm going to ride it out.
I don't know why I was not blessed with daughters, because they stay around.
Because you have me.
They stay around.
I am not the best person for daughters.
But they are around. They are around. Daughters tend to be even if they're not local, like right there, they tend to communicate and every day. You know, I used to talk to my mom every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have that with any of my children. None of my children talk to me every day. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you, me and my sister talk just about every day. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure she talks to her girls almost every day. But looking back at all of this and seeing how they are growing, and I'm proud of their growth. I'm proud that they are turning into responsible young men, because I know they will be, because they know they have to be, because we are not able to take care of them.
Right. Have to.
At all.
No choice, bro. No choice.
Yeah. So.
But they're, the weekend itself, with that aside, was, again, another unbelievable trip up there. And we were able to share it with a friend. And it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about that here in a second. But before we do, I am going to pause for one quick second to do an ad break. This is Aunt Pruitt. She's Phoebe Pruitt, and this is Everyday People. Stay right there, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Everyday People Doing Everyday Shit podcast right here on whatever podcast app you use, as well as streaming live on YouTube right now on Wednesday. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here in the live chat. Say hello. Once you pop in here, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, share, like, all that good stuff. So before the break, we alluded to the trip to Eugene. This was the rivalry weekend for college football, and I know most people do not care about that, but this was rivalry weekend for college football. My beloved Clemson Tigers lost to the stupid Gamecocks. And then Oregon has to play one of their rivals. They have a couple rivals. One was Oregon State, but this weekend was playing Washington. And this was the last home game for the team. And so been trying to get you up to a game all season long, scheduling issues and so forth. And we were finally able to get it worked out and get you up there so you can actually see our son out there in the element, so on and so forth. And just taking the ball game, just have a good time, just have a good trip. In the midst of that, like the weekend before in Patreon, our friend Matt was like, hey, you should take me to one of them games with you sometime, you know? And I'm like, well, hell yeah. You know, you're right there. So hell yeah, we should do that, you know, because he's not the biggest sports person, but going to that game, I thought it would have been a cool experience to hang out with him again and hang out in that element and with us and just goof off, have some fun. But let me say one thing. I apologize. I apologize to you, my friend, because that town, you know, that city, I don't know how many people are in that city. I'm thinking maybe 200,000 or something like that. Maybe 300,000. I don't know. But the ball game, the stadium will hold 60,000 people minimum, like that. 60,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's a big crowd. I want to apologize to bringing you into that mess of people and mess of crowd, if you will, because it ain't for everybody. You know?
Yeah.
It ain't for everybody. But the trip, I still think the trip and the visit went very well. We got to town roughly 12:30 p.m. local time and got the hotel checked in and dropped off Biscuit at the hotel. And we headed straight on over to the game because we needed to be there for the march and all of that good stuff. And to go do our quote tailgating. It wasn't tailgating. We just had food on the inside at the Order of the O. And it was cool to be able to share that experience with him and share the experience with you and let you see the experience and take it all in, because I know you have a different perspective of it all because of what you've seen before.
Yeah.
So you've seen that place empty. You've seen that place empty several times, actually. And you've seen other football games at other venues. So I know you have a various perspective on it all. So it was cool to see what you would think and how you would feel and so forth. But man, we got there, and as expected, it was cold to us. It was like 40 degrees or something at noon. So it was only going to get colder.
Yeah.
So it was only going to get colder. I ain't gonna lie.
I got cold only because I didn't have my gloves on. But
really?
Yeah, that was the only time that I really felt cold in my fingers. I think I even said that to you. Like, I don't feel my fingers, but I didn't have my gloves on. I was trying to use my phone and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, with the amount of layers that I had on,
yeah, you did all right with that.
Yeah. And because we were able to prepare.
Yeah.
I was able, 2 hoodies with a shirt under that, under the 2 hoodies and stockings. Thick stockings on top of leggings, on top of pants.
Oh yeah.
And 2 pairs of socks with the warmers in the shoes with the 2 pairs of socks. And then a sweater on top of
get cold.
all of that with a beanie on top of my head with the 2 hoodie hoods. Yeah, I was not.
Yeah, you clearly couldn't be cold.
I wasn't cold.
You had on a lot. I didn't know you had that much on.
You didn't know?
Dang.
Man. Riding down there, I remember putting on the stockings, the thick stockings.
Yeah.
I put the thick stockings on, and then I just put my pants on top of the thick stockings and my long socks.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, I added, and then I just had on the 1 hoodie with the long sleeve shirt under it.
Yeah.
But then when we got there, I added on the other hoodie. So that's 2 the hoodies with the long sleeve shirt under it. Plus the stockings that I had on, the thick stockings, and then I put the leggings on top of the thick stockings, and then I had to put the pants on top of those.
Dang.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, you had a lot going on there.
The only thing that was cold was my hands, and that was because I didn't have them in the gloves. But once I put them in the gloves and was clapping with them in the gloves and everything, I was good.
That's impressive. Yeah, John Helm asked in the chat, did it get cold? It got cold. It got cold, but it wasn't. But we couldn't really feel it because we did prepare, and I tried to stress preparing because the boys and I went 2 years ago to a game and froze, and I thought I had enough layers. I did not.
But I saw so many red cheeks. Red cheeks, red faces, like frostbitten looking faces.
That tells you it is cold out here.
It's cold. It's definitely cold. That's why I knew it was cold, because I'm like, whoo, they look cold. They look cold. For real. Red, like deep wine red cheeks. So I'm like, if my face gets to looking like that, then we got a problem.
Yeah, it definitely dipped down. Unfortunately, we were all taken care of. We were able to get decent food and beverages and whatnot, and got inside the stadium. And the seats are still great. Even the quote unquote upper deck of that stadium is good seats. You liked the seats because it was right next to the Jumbotron, apparently.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. But
the
Jumbotron is just a generic name for a big screen in a stadium. But that thing's massive, though. That thing is
so massive. Jacob said there was no bad seats in the stadium, and I think he's right, because even with me watching, just like looking right here, it was right there. Like I knew what was happening down there, and I could still see it, but I could see it better, right?
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you looking at it on the screen, and the dudes are 10 feet tall on the screen.
It's pretty awesome
and crystal clear. But yeah, we hanging out in there and just doing what football does. And my man Matt, it was funny just talking to him and listening to some of his commentary. and
he had a lot, but then a lot of it made so much sense. It was annoying because it was like, oh God, he's so right.
But
he's so right.
But that is the beauty of sports and sports fanatics. There's a lot of things that like idiosyncrasies fans do just because of their fanaticism for the team.
Yeah, but
it has never made any sense.
But I didn't really pay attention to it till he showed it. Like, this is that, and it's like, yeah, he's so right. Yeah. That is so true.
Yeah.
Especially with the yelling.
If you listen to his podcast, The Jamhole, jamhole.com, he has a great explanation of how teams go into a stadium that's not their own, and they have to listen to the fans yell. And there are some stadiums, now most college stadiums in particular, not necessarily the pros, but most college stadiums do try to do some form of yelling while the other team is on offense.
Yeah, so they can't hear.
Right. But then there are other teams such as the Oregon fans, such as Clemson fans and Bama and Georgia. It's when they start yelling, it's not the same.
It's not. So that's what it was.
It's really, really loud, and
it's
nonstop.
It's nonstop
for 3.5 to 4 hours. It's nonstop.
Yeah. That was the difference between being at a Clemson game versus being at a Ducks game. Yeah, there's some huge Duck fans, and I appreciate them.
Yeah.
But comparing them to the Tiger being in Death Valley, Clemson Death Valley, I wouldn't be able to hear still today if it was the same. And that's why I kept, even when the kids were walking through, doing their little walkthrough, it was quiet. To me, it was super quiet.
Yeah, but
even
again,
I know
it's not as many people.
It's not as many people, but even with the people that were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, we're quiet.
Yeah.
It was like to me, I feel like I was the loudest one there.
You were loud, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I just kept saying, "Wow, it's so quiet here," because even the people that were there were quiet to me because of
what you're used to.
What I said, the way I came up in football, because I literally was born into Clemson football, back in the day. So that's all I knew. That's all I know to compare it to. Even going to
did not have Panthers.
The Panthers games. Those were
no Panthers games not loud.
I can't really say.
I got yelled at for yelling in a Panthers game.
And the thing is, I can't tell you because all the Panthers games that I went to, I never stayed inside.
Right.
I always ended up on the outside.
You went there to party. and that's what people do. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what people do.
And that's why people end up being like fans, because they're fans of the party instead of the
game. There's that. Yeah, and
I can't say. I mean, it was like that with Clemson too.
Started
off, I became a fan of the party with the friends, and then it was like, okay, we all cheering for these kids, and these kids are doing it. They're playing, and they huge, and it was the hype. It was a lot. Yeah,
you came on at the right time, because you came on right as the tide was turning, if you will.
And that's the same way it is with. I don't know how the Ducks have been in the past, but this is a pretty.
Right. They've been all right, but right now, you saw the number one team in the nation.
I saw the number one team in the nation the other day too.
No, that's what I'm saying. You saw the number one team in the nation this weekend. Oregon's been pretty good historically in the last 10 years.
And I also saw the number one team in the nation with the
Tigers.
Too,
you did. Yeah, you did. with the Clemson thing, you came on right as things started to really start to ramp up for us, you know. But now, yeah, for sure. But man,
why you say but now? Because I think it's still
it's still fine.
It's
we're still
probably
fine.
still pretty loud in Death Valley. I can't imagine it
wouldn't be any other way. No,
I don't think that it would be. And I'm not gonna lie, bruh. I love being in Oregon at Autzen, and that was fun. That was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I wish that I could take from Autzen to Clemson is the cushions, the seat cushions, because I didn't have those in Clemson.
Okay. Well, we didn't have them at Clemson. We didn't have those at Clemson because we were younger.
And we were wild. Yeah, it was a lot.
We were younger, so I wasn't buying those cushions. But man, shit, nowadays, I'm gonna
need them cushions.
I know. I'm gonna buy those cushions henceforth and forevermore.
That was pretty cool. That was.
It's totally worth $10. It was.
Right. It was absolutely, and it was really good, and it was so many experiences that we could take away. Yeah. So many little stories that we could take away from that.
Yeah.
Game we watched so many things unfold. It was cool.
We're gonna get into one here in a second, but I'm gonna pause right now for a quick break. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. John in the chat says tailgating. Sometimes tailgating is more fun. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I can't really speak to it to Oregon, but at Clemson, that town is so tiny. That stadium only holds like 84,000 people. But on a Saturday, that town will have about 200,000 people
it's so awesome.
Just floating around the stadium. They don't all have tickets.
But you don't even know it though.
Right. They don't have tickets.
You don't know because you can still go there and have a great time.
You
can tailgate with everyone that's there.
What I'm saying is the stadium only holds 80,000, but they will bring an extra 200,000 people there. They don't even have tickets. They just there, and it's just crowded. And
we're not going to the game. We're going to hang out.
We're just going to go hang out, you know,
and go to the bar.
Fill up every bar. All the bars have lines, and then all of the tailgates. I can remember years ago, you know, back early in our marriage, man. I'd go to the game by myself, and of course you didn't go because you was not a fan. And I wouldn't have a ticket, and you'd be like, "You don't even have a ticket. Why are you going?" I was like, "Not gonna need it. Not gonna need it," because I would go down there, and this is true for most anybody. You can go there without a ticket, and
still end up inside.
And still end up inside
on the field after the game.
All of that stuff.
I'm a prime example of that. Yeah. It happened to me more than once.
You won't need it. I wouldn't have any money to buy concessions or whatever. Never starved. Never. Just walk by a random tailgate and they'll be like, "You want a burger?" "Yes, sir, I do." Hand you a burger. You know, "You want a beer?" "Yes, sir, I do." Hand you a beer. You know, so it's I can't say that about Oregon yet because I haven't seeked that out. When I've gone to these games, I have a mission. I'm trying to get to certain spots to see the boy, that kind of thing, you know. Yeah, South Carolina has those stalls, but I don't give a shit about them, so screw them.
Yeah, no, they just gave them a little whooping, so he's not really.
Oh, gosh, no, that was a good game. All right, y'all stay right there. We're going to pause for station identification. Be right back. And we are back. Everyday people doing everyday shit. I am Aunt Pruitt again. On this here mic, she is Phoebe Pruitt again over there on that mic. Thank y'all for being here. We're talking about this past weekend and hanging out with Matt, and there was a story that developed over the weekend. Have you ever? Did you ever get to meet that baby known across the state as Avery? Did you?
I saw that it was.
You saw Avery?
Yeah. The name was Avery. I think everybody will hear about Avery at some point because that's not only the baby's name, but the daddy's name.
But that is also the dad's name. So what the heck are we talking about? Well, during the game, They have all of these cameras around and drones and so forth to try to enhance the experience for the fans. Excuse me. And so they'll put things up on the Jumbotron, the kiss me cams and stuff like that. But there was one instance, and it happened twice. The story doesn't mention that, but it happened twice. So actually, let me just do this.
Happened twice. I thought it happened more than twice.
Oh, well, okay. It happened at least twice.
Oh, okay.
Happened at least twice. So what you see on the screen here is Duck Baby Avery White captures hearts, cheers at Autzen Stadium for the Oregon-Washington game. And it's a picture of this couple here and their little baby in this duck onesie thing. Is that what you call it?
They said it was a duck one, like a duck costume.
Oh, it was a costume. Okay.
Like a little thing for them.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they went to the library and
Yeah.
had it on. Yeah, so she's got this duck costume to help her stay warm. It's got all this nice, looks like fleece and whatnot. So she's a cute baby, okay?
She is adorable.
She's a cute baby.
She's a very, very cute baby. She is a beautiful. That up close photo, I was like, oh my God, she's so adorable.
Yeah. So did I have it in here? I thought I did. I guess not. But anyway, this is little baby Avery. And the story is this family, every Thanksgiving, they try to take a trip to random college football games because it's like a bit of a bucket list kind of thing. So they go to different places around the country, region, or whatever. And they happen to do Oregon for this weekend. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're not even Duck fans. They just random football fans.
And they buy the gear.
Which is even cooler, because they said, all right, since we're here, we need to make sure we get the gear and just get the whole experience, Great. So anyway, during the game, all of these cameras are just going around the stadium, and they at some point zoom in on baby Avery, and the crowd goes wild. Every single time they zoom away from the baby Avery, and the people start to boo. So when this first happened, they would show her. Actually, hold on. Let me just show y'all how it went down, because this is how it is on Instagram on the Ducks page. So we'll reload that. Give you some audio. Did I give y'all some audio? Where's my mouse? There's the mouse. Y'all can't hear that, can you? Now you can hear it. So let me do this again. Refresh. So they're zooming in and they're showing baby Avery.
They even showed the other Duck fans.
And they just start booing. So
every time they
showed this baby, and it was totally at random.
Yes.
It was totally random.
It was totally random because we booed Oregon.
Yeah.
Booed the Oregon baby, other teenagers. It was people in green. If it wasn't that baby, it was just getting booed.
Dude.
And it was so cool to watch it happen because it just kept getting louder and louder, and
and it again, the thing is, it's totally random because there's a game going on and it might be a timeout and they just throw the camera on some fans. Mm-hmm. That happens.
Yeah,
and then they just throw it on some other fans. No biggie. They threw it on this child, and everybody erupt.
Going crazy.
But like I said, this happened a couple times because I believe it was that first time when it happened. They threw it on the baby Avery. Crowd goes wild. They threw it on another baby in the crowd.
And
the crowd booed. They booed the baby.
They booed the other baby that was not in the duck costume.
They booed another baby.
It wasn't even a baby. It was like a little kid.
Yeah, it was a
little kid, but they were just excited in their green and everything. Boo! Stop the baby! Bring the baby back! Oh, there's the baby! Yeah!
And so they would do that.
It was hilarious.
And it went on for damn near 10 minutes. I swear it seemed like it.
But it was so cool. It was a long time. They went back and forth to all. Then they just went back after I think that second time,
they stopped.
They were like,
the
okay,
kids.
let's just go to the, what are they called? The wolves,
the Huskies, Washington Huskies.
Let's go to the Huskies instead, and then that's easy. Yay, boo! Yay! Yeah. That's better than anywhere else. Because at first I'm like, oh, those little kids are gonna be traumatized.
They are ruined for life. They are ruined for life. You know those kids remember that.
Because we were the baby and the duck. Mom, why did you buy me a duck costume? You're crazy. Why did you buy me a duck costume and hold me in the air? It could have been me, Mom. Screw you, Dad. Yeah, that's exactly what those kids are good. It's pretty hilarious.
And it's funny because I like baby Avery. I had said she's like 8 months old, and yeah, she's 8 months old, so she's not.
She has no idea, but she said in that article that people were stopping. Can we take a picture with the baby? No, get the selfie. You ain't taking a picture with my baby, damn it. Keep on moving. No, yes, this is a celebrity. How much you got?
Oh God.
How much you would it take?
Yeah, she's a celebrity now, right?
That baby is a celebrity.
Hold on.
And those parents, and I think he played for Sac State.
Yeah, he originally played at Sac State.
Yeah, I did read that. Yeah,
and
that's where they met, and it's a cool story.
It is a really good story. I'll put a link in the show notes here, but let me get you this. This is the picture of this is baby Avery right here, so people get
look how cute that baby is.
A bit of a close up view.
She's so cute. She was even cuter
and had
in person.
The earmuffs on, just.
She has no idea what is going on.
This youngin' is like, man, everybody's just yelling for me, but
I don't even know if she knew, because how did she know? If everybody turned around looking at her,
right.
Because we're looking at it on the screen.
Yeah, I will say
that's interesting.
If you go back to that video, and
people are around her like, come on, give more cheers.
The Instagram comments had me laughing. Right here. Hey, guy in front. It ain't about you, dude. Let's chill out. Watch him. Look. Come on, dude. Have some self-awareness,
Yes.
But he is just feeling it. But the comments were great. Baby duck, quack, quack, quack. I was booing myself. That baby was the best part of the game.
That baby was awesome. It was really cool.
This was so fun. Love cheering for the baby. I know that baby. Whose baby is this? This is adorable. That baby was everything.
Yes, that baby was. It was really cool to be a part of that.
Oh,
that whole crowd to cheer for the baby.
Oh, man.
In the quack quack duck costume.
So much fun. Man. Yeah, Cinder Fractor says, happy to see earmuffs on the baby Avery. Yep, that's right. Most kids in there that young, I do notice a lot of earmuffs when I go to stadiums nowadays. Some days I'm like, I should have worn some freaking earplugs, because my ears for the Ohio State game, my ears were jacked.
Your ears are still jacked. You talking about work.
They
are not, they're no bueno.
I'm like, I can't hear, so I may be yelling.
That's
right
why
now.
I thought you were the one to order the ear thingy.
What ear thingy?
That had come in by Amazon, and you was like, no, that wasn't me. It might have been one of the boys. I was like, oh, I'm going to send it back.
Oh, the ear cleaning stuff? Yeah, I didn't order that. No.
Because your ears take a beating.
Dude, that stadium,
I had to yell at you to stop freaking yelling.
Now, see, that's where you're wrong. You're trying to tell me to stop yelling at a football game? Do you know that's what we do?
I know that's what we do, but that's what healthy people do. You were not healthy.
Nah, I wasn't feeling my best. My voice was still weird, because I had been sick the previous week.
Yes, and you got ear problems, and somebody was going to have to drive. I didn't need for you to
My ears were fine at that time. But I was getting headache from yelling. So that was definitely a sinus problem. So it's like, all right, I shouldn't yell as much. But
hard head, make a soft ass.
It's all right. All right, folks. It has been time here. It's been right at about an hour. So we're going to get on up out of here and allow Biscuit to chew on his tennis ball here in peace. I'm sure he don't want us in the studio while he's playing with this ball. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. This was a lot of fun. And again, make sure y'all check out my man Matt's show. I'm going to put a link to his show in the show notes. So please check that out and go give it a listen. His explanation of everything was hilarious.
It is absolutely hilarious. And it makes so much sense. And I will never be able to honk.
Yep.
Ever again. Honk! Yep. I would never ever be able to honk or yell at a football game again without thinking about him. Ever.
It was so good.
Ever. He's so good. So, and it makes, I like to have that outside person.
Yeah, it's nice to have a different perspective.
Yeah.
There. You know, it's because again, sports ain't for everybody. And then crowds ain't for everybody.
Crowds aren't for everybody. And I have to remind myself of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think about it, but like my sister, she don't like all the people like that either.
Yeah.
And I have to, I
gotta tell you, I don't like crowds. I'm a bit of a loner too, but that's like the only time it doesn't bother me is being at a football game. Like I'll go to CES and CES will have 1 million people there. Easy. And I will weave through that city.
So it's all in what you're interested in. If you want to be there, you gonna be there.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I'll weave like with CES. It's so crowded. It's way beyond football game crowded. Mm-hmm. Just all through the city, and I will weave through that city with just as much tunnel vision as I possibly can until I get to whatever destination I'm trying to get to.
Because you want to be there.
Well, because I want to be at that booth, but I don't want to be with all of these people.
But you got to be around those people to get to that booth. And most people, if they don't want to be there, they're not going to do that to get to anywhere. Because that's what I'm saying. You want to be there. So you do what you got to do because that's where you want to be. Same with football.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely football games is my jam. And I do appreciate it being in cities like Eugene or Miami where it's bigger roads to travel, if you will. Mm-hmm. All right. So thank y'all again. Shout out to Finn. Shout out to everybody in Patreon. Shout out to everybody here in the live chat with Cinder Fractal and John Helm hanging out there. Thank y'all so much for being here. Be sure to share the show with any and everybody that that has 2 ears or even just 1 ear and have some earbuds. Just share the show with them. Tell them to give it a listen. I will keep you all updated on things that change with me professionally. Right now, I ain't got no idea, but not worried about it. If anything, like I said, my ego was bruised a little bit this afternoon and probably just need to get myself a good cry out. But other than that, we shall be all good. Thanks for being here. Be sure to do something good for yourself. Do something good for someone else. Know that it is okay to love you some you. And Miss Phoebe, you want to wave goodbye? See y'all later.